Hello guys, how are you? Hope everyone is fine. Today we've come with another question, and this is science paper 2, November 2022, in the Zambian syllabus. And so we're going to deal with question 5 in section B. That is what we're going to deal with. So this is the question, guys. Question 5, section B, question 5, section B, yeah. This is the question which says calcium nitrate decomposes on heating according to the equation. We have that equation here, okay? And then the first question says copy the equation given and balance it, okay? Copy the equation given and balance it. All right, so this is how the equation is balanced, okay? This is how the equation is balanced, because we need to have the equation balanced. So we're going to put a 2 here, and this will require to have a 2 on the product side as well, because we are going to have calcium 2, and we have nitrogen here. We need to have here nitrogen, because we have 2 nitrogen atoms. Multiply by this 2, it gives us 4, so we're going to have a 4 here. And on oxygen we have 3 times 2, which gives us 6 times 2, which gives us 12. So we have 2 oxygen atoms plus 8, which is 2 times 4, 8, which gives us 10, plus 2, which gives us 12. So this is the balanced equation on that question. The second question says, calculate the relative formula mass of calcium nitrate. Calculate the relative formula mass of calcium. Now, guys, let me emphasize this, that there is a difference, though, between the relative formula mass and the relative molecular mass. The relative molecular mass is the sum of relative atomic masses of the atoms in that molecule, okay? Molecule, the most important word is molecule, while the relative formula mass is the sum of the atomic masses of those atoms in that ionic compound. You get the difference there? So relative molecular mass is for molecules, while relative formula mass is for ionic compound, giant molecules. And both of these, they do not have units. So this is how we calculate the relative formula mass. We go by this way. We multiply the number of atoms by the relative atomic mass of the respective atoms involved, and we're going to land ourselves on 264. So that is how simple this question is. The next question says 16.4 grams of calcium nitrate is decomposed. Calculate the volume of oxygen gas liberated at room temperature and pressure. At room temperature and pressure. This is very important, guys. Okay, so now on this one, so on the previous question, the relative formula mass for calcium nitrate is 164. Remember, it doesn't have units. Now, on this one, the second question, for us to find the volume of oxygen at room temperature and pressure, we need first to start with the what? With the number of moles of calcium nitrate. Remember, the mass that we've been given is extremely important for us to calculate the volume of oxygen. We need first to use that mass to calculate the number of moles of calcium nitrate. And after that, we're going to use the mole ratio to find the number of moles of oxygen, and use those number of moles of oxygen to calculate the volume of oxygen. Please pay attention to that. And so this is the formula we're going to use. number of moles of calcium nitrate is equal to mass of calcium nitrate divided by the molar mass. Now, other people prefer to use relative molecular mass or relative formula mass. So some people use these interchangeably, but it's best to use what is supposed to be used. The relative formula mass, remember we defined what it is, and the relative molecular mass, but the molar mass is the relative formula mass or relative molecular mass expressed in a gram per mole. Okay, so this is what we're going to do. This is what we have here. We have 16.4 grams of calcium nitrate. We divide by the molar mass, which is 164. So we've just put grams on this number, which we found as a relative formula mass, because molar mass is expressed in grams per mole. So when we did our math, we discovered that the answer, or the number of moles for calcium nitrate, is 0.1 moles. Now we are going to use the equation for us now to do the mole ratio. So we need to have our balanced equation, and we're going to consider this. Excuse me. Here we have 2, and on oxygen we have 1. Remember, just this the way it is, there is a 1 here. So we're going to do the mole ratio. Now, if on calcium nitrate we have 2 and on oxygen we have 1, then we have 0.1 moles of calcium. What is the number of moles of oxygen? So we proceed. We are going to have an expression like this, and then we proceed. We will end up having 0.05 moles of oxygen. Remember that expression which we did. We now are going to find for x. We imagine that x is the number of moles of oxygen gas, and then we are going to express it in this way. We cancel the 2's, and then we divide the 0.1 moles of calcium nitrate by the 2. Okay, then we are ending up with 0.05 moles of oxygen. And then now these moles of oxygen, we need to convert these moles to the volume, or we use the number of moles of oxygen, which is 0.05, to find the volume of oxygen at room temperature and pressure. So when we proceed, we are going to use this formula. Number of moles of oxygen gas, of course, or of any gas, you use this formula, is equal to the volume over the molar volume. Now, the molar volume is the volume that you are given either at room temperature and pressure or standard temperature and pressure. Remember, room temperature and pressure, we have 24.0 decimeter cubed, or 24.0 cubic decimeter, while standard temperature and pressure, we have 22.4 cubic decimeters. So we're going to use, in this case, we're going to use 24 because it's room temperature and pressure. And if we make V the subject of the formula, we're going to have number of moles times the molar volume, which we're going to have this. And when we do the math, we will end up having 1.2 cubic decimeter as the volume of what? Of oxygen. So this is how simple the paper was, guys. It may seem to be very long in solving it, but remember, you are trying to make sure that you score any mark that is given per question. I hope this was helpful, and please like this page or subscribe to my YouTube channel and press the bell button so that each time I post a question, you will be the first person to receive the content. And I hope this was helpful. Bye-bye.